that men make in marriage. Are these mistakes ruining your marriage? I want you to get ready to take some notes. If you follow me, you should have, or you should be by now. But my last video, I talked about the 7 mistakes women make in marriage. This video, this training, this teaching, I will be discussing the 7 big, deadly mistakes that men make in their marriage. Some of these mistakes I've made and I've learned from them. Other mistakes I've learned from other people's marriages. But if you're ready to learn how to enhance the quality of your marriage, you're ready to see some changes, I'm telling you, if you apply these principles and these rules into your marriage, I can guarantee that you're going to begin to see heaven come into your love life. You're going to be able to see your marriage improve, your peace, your romance, your passion for one another. All right. So before I begin, I want you to push the like button. I want you to push the share button. And I also want you to push the subscribe button. Make sure you're following me so that you can receive more teachings, more trainings, more advice on how to improve your relationships. All right. So let's jump right into it. The 7 big mistakes that men make in their marriage. All right. Here's the first one. Marrying the woman without being married to the idea of marriage. Marrying a woman without being married to the idea of marriage. Now, how does that even happen? The truth of the matter is, most women romanticize the idea of being married, happily married, having a wedding, a lot more than men. And so what usually happens is a man is dating a woman for some time and she starts asking the question, when are you going to marry me? When are we going to get married? And unless a man has an understanding and an appreciation of the institution of marriage, marriage is just most likely going to become something that he conforms to with the woman that he wants to be with. And he himself not really is fascinated by the concept by marriage. Now, why would most men shy away from marriage more than women? Because for men, marriage, as much as it is a blessing, most men also see marriage as a burden. It's another burden and it's another bill, right? Like if you're living single, you're taking care of yourself. You can move and live how you choose, how you please. But when you're married, the commitment that a man is signing up for is to lay down his life for his wife and for his family. And so unless a man has reached that level of maturity and understands the blessing of marriage from a spiritual point of view, as well as the benefits that it has from a societal point of view, then that man will shy away from the idea of marriage. However, if you marry a woman just because you want to make her happy and not because you understand and value the marriage and what it's worth, most likely you're going to be willing to call it quits. Okay, you'll probably step out of your marriage when things get hard instead of valuing the union because you don't see the value of it. So you want to make sure, men, that you understand the value of marriage itself. All right, here's the next one, number 6. Not learning and communicating in your wife's love language. Not learning and not communicating in your wife's love language. All right. I counsel couples, and every couple that I counsel, I make sure that I teach them the 5 love languages, which were revealed in a book by Gary Chapman. This truth literally saved my marriage. My wife and I, a few years into our marriage, were having a really rough time, and we were speaking in 2 different love languages. My love language were words of affirmation. Her love language were receiving gifts. And I didn't know anything about love languages. I didn't even know receiving gifts could be a love language. And so I was doing everything that I thought I could do to make my wife feel satisfied and happy and complete. And she was also doing the same thing to me. But there was a disconnect. She would buy me gifts. I would show her love. I would show through my words and through my acts of service. But until we discovered the truth in the 5 love languages and began to speak and communicate in the way we receive love, the way we interpret love, then things began to change. And I'm telling you, this one truth, if you apply this, learning your wife's love language, learning your spouse's love language would definitely cause your marriage to improve and your connection to increase, all right? It's like speaking two different languages when you're not speaking in your partner's love language, all right? So you want to know your wife's love language. I can go on and on. I'm going to dedicate a separate teaching just on the 5 love languages, but I wanted to share with you the top mistakes that men make in their marriage. Here's the next one. Not prioritizing and putting your relationship with your wife above all others. Not prioritizing and putting your connection and your relationship with your wife above all others. Okay, and this is what we call leaving doors open, right? Men might leave doors open with other female friends, former friends, maybe former exes, even women. Sometimes you have women who are best friends, and you might seek their advice and their input, and you're just leaving doors open, right? And oftentimes it may just simply be neutral relationships. Sometimes there you have no romantic a connection with this person. But the question now as you have to ask is your wife, does she feel safe with that relationship? Right? Is this a person that she also has a relationship with? For me, as a rule of thumb, if someone wants to have a relationship with me but doesn't want to have a relationship with my wife, I don't want to have a relationship with them. That's just a rule of thumb that I abide by, because ultimately my connection with my wife is more important than any other relationship that I can have with anybody. And it's not only females as well, also males. Okay, there was some male friends that I had to cut off as I got married, just simply because they themselves didn't understand what it meant to live a married life, right? They will still want to live single. They still want to do single things. And I can't move like that anymore because I am now married, all right? So you got to prioritize your relationship with your wife above all others. And you want to cut off and close any doors. You got exes in your phone that's still reaching out to you. You need to cut them off. All right. If you have committed to one woman and you are married, you don't need friends with the opposite sex unless they are mutual friends with you and your wife. Okay. This is just going to save you from a lot of confusion, a lot of drama in the future. Okay. Listen to me. All right. Here's another one. Here's another big mistake that men make in marriage. No longer dating your wife. No longer dating your wife. Okay? Husbands, you need to keep dating your wife. Just like when you were single and you were getting to know her, you were dating her because you wanted to know her. Let me help you understand something. That even after you both get married, you still have to date each other because you're still getting to know each other. You don't stop figuring things out about your partner. I've talked to couples who have been married for 30 years, 40 years, and they still tell me that they're still learning each other because we're always growing, right? That's the human existence, the human journey is that we are creatures of evolution, that we're always growing and learning. And so we have to keep spending time with our partner, and we got to make sure that we spend time dating them, getting to know them, because do you know that's what the word dating is connected to? Dating is connected to collecting data. When you date somebody, you are collecting data on the person, information. You want to get to know what they like, what they dislike. You want to get to know their ways, their mannerisms, their characteristics. And so this is why you want to keep dating your spouse. You want to take them out, spend time, even if you have children. But one of the things my wife and I had to implement was setting up date nights, right? Getting them on the calendar. We have 2 kids now. When you have children, sometimes that becomes complicated when it comes to organizing your schedules around them and their own schedules. But never stop dating your wife. That is a huge This is a huge key. All right. Your wife also needs that emotional connection. You want to romance her. You want to still be able to take her places. You still want to be able to have that one-on-one time to create that bond that's going to allow your connection to grow. All right. So never stop dating your wife. Okay. Here's another key. Here's another key. Ignoring the words and the cautions of your wife. Ignoring the words and the cautions of your wife. We all know that women have this other sense, right? This or greater sense called an intuition, right? We know about a mother's intuition, but it's a woman's intuition. Women are more intuitive than men. They have the ability to sense and pick up things about people, about places that men oftentimes can overlook. While we're more emotional, while we're more logical men, women are more emotional and they're usually more intuitive. And so I know many of you probably had times when your lady or your woman say, I don't trust that person. I don't trust her. I don't trust him. And you might say, well, it doesn't make sense to you because you don't see any reasons why you won't trust them. But a woman just has the ability to sense things in their spirit. Okay. And because God created your wife to be a helpmeet, because God created your wife to be a helpmeet, God will download things into your wife in order to help protect you, to help you make wise decisions, to help guide you, because they're here to help. Okay? So when your wife feels strongly about something, whether it's a person, an opportunity, a business decision, whatever it is, don't neglect or leave your wife out of those decisions. Bring your wife in. She is your purpose partner. She is now a teammate. When you're building, allow your wife to be a part of that. Ask for her input, ask for her advice, because God will literally keep you blind about things that he wants your wife to be able to give you the wisdom that you need to help make better decisions. All right. Every time my wife has warned me about something, almost 99% of the times, she was right. Whether it was a person, whether it was a decision, it was things that she saw that I didn't see, or I should have listened to her more to make an even better decision, right? Sometimes my decisions were okay, but it would have been better if I took more heed to what my wife had to say. All right. So you always want to make sure that you keep the words and the cautions of your wife, receive them, take them, listen to them, but make sure that you don't ignore her, because God might be speaking to you through your wife. Okay. Two more. Number 6, marrying without a real plan and a dedicated vision for your life and family. Another big mistake men do is that they marry without a real plan and a dedicated vision for their life and their family. I'm telling you guys, listen, one of the greatest assets in your arsenal when it comes to leading your family, leading your marriage, is by having a vision. What is your vision for your family? What's your vision for the future? When God says that you are the head of your household, you're the head of the family, that means that you are the visionary of your family. You have to be able to say, hey, this is the plan. Women love a man with a plan. You have to be able to know what is your vision, what's your plan. And a woman needs to know what your vision and your plan is so that she can be a helpmeet to you. Remember, God created the first man, Adam, gave him a plan, gave him a work, gave him an assignment, gave him a vision. And then God put him to sleep and gave him a wife named Eve, or he named Eve. And his wife was designed, the Bible says, was to be a suitable helper. Man, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a plan, a woman has nothing to help you with. And therefore, she's just going to be in the picture. She's just going to be frustrated. And then she's going to be finding things to try to fix in your life, because women are programmed to help solve problems. They are a helpmeet. So either your wife is going to help you build or help solve problems with you, or she's going to find problems in you. If she cannot solve problems with you, she is going to find problems in you. And that's when women become what we would say they're starting to complain. They're starting to find fault. They're starting to pick apart all the things that you're doing that's wrong because she doesn't see the vision. She doesn't see the plan. She doesn't know where you're going next, right? So you got to have a strong vision. I say it like this. A man must be married to a vision before he's married to a woman. A man must be married to a vision before he's married to a woman. Because when that woman that he meets comes alongside him, he needs to know if she's the right one by sharing the vision that he is married to. And if that wife finds that she can come alongside him to help grow that vision, she's most likely the right one for you. Because you're married to a vision, and this woman will marry you to help birth that vision and make that vision come to pass. All right, and here's the seventh one. Here's the final one. Expecting intimacy without romance. Expecting intimacy without romance, okay? This is possibly, again, the number one mistake that most men make in marriage. And we know, we probably have all seen this and known this by now. It doesn't take a man anything to be ready to be intimate, right? It doesn't take anything. All right, a woman can just walk past, your wife can walk past you and you're ready. But for women, it doesn't work that way, right? Women are stimulated through emotional connection, through conversation, and having that ability to know that you are a companion with them. Okay, it takes more for a woman to be ready, to be in the mood, to be intimate than a man. And so, men, if you want her to be ready to be intimate, then you have to do what it takes to provide that emotional stimulation through connection. If you don't know, you need to just ask your partner. Ask her, what is it that she needs in order for her to be in the mood? Okay. Many men get frustrated because they, again, just feel like you're my wife. This is what you signed up for. This is what you should be doing, right? And while that is true from a theoretical level, from a very practical level, biological level even, if you want the intimacy to be mutual and exciting for the both of you, then you also need to do what you have to do to get her in the mood, okay? And that's where the romance comes in, okay? Sometimes all she needs is text messaging through the day. All right. Sometimes all she needs is for you to help clean up the house or make sure the bedroom is neat and tidy. OK, because if a woman's mind is not at ease and she's worried about 15 different things, the way women are wired, once again, as helpers, is that they're more programmed to think about all the things that needs to be in place, and they're not focused on the moment. And so you can help your wife be in the mood by figuring out what is it that she needs to help to be at ease, okay? So that she can be ready to be intimate with you, all right? So those are the 7 big mistakes, 7 deadly mistakes that could be ruining your marriage. And I want you to pause and think about what is one of those things that you might be doing. Again, going from the top to the bottom, marrying without being married to the idea of marriage, not learning and communicating in your wife's love language, not prioritizing your relationship with her above all others, not dating your wife, ignoring the words and the cautions of your wife, marrying without a real plan and a real vision, and number 7, expecting intimacy without romance. Okay. And here's a bonus one. Okay. This is a bonus mistake. Okay. Here's another one. Another big mistake that men make is not having a backbone. Not having a backbone. Okay. Not being a man. And when I say not being a man, I'm talking about compromising on your values and and taking lead. Okay, a woman loves a man who is going to take charge and who is going to put his foot down and not allow her to walk all over him. Okay, you'll be surprised how many men just simply roll over and just allow their woman to do whatever they want because they're so passive and they're so afraid of taking charge. And listen to me, you have to first take charge by living a life worth following. Okay? If you want the respect of your wife, listen to me. You have to be a man of standards, a man of values. You have to be a man of integrity. And you have to be a man that says what he says and means what he says and does what he promises. Because once you do that, your wife has no choice but to come into alignment with the way that you're living because you're leading by example. The best way to lead is not by telling a person what to do. It's by living a life worth following, living by example, leading by example, and setting the tone for your family. Okay? If you know that you are a person of faith, don't allow a woman to talk you out of your faith. You have to stand flat-footed on what your faith is. Okay, if you're a man of discipline when it comes to finances, stand flat-footed on what you want to do with your funds. If you know your goal is that we're going to invest this money on real estate and we're not going to just spend it on frivolous things, then you have to be flat-footed about that. But whatever it is, whatever your standards and your ideals are, have a backbone, be a man, stand up, and allow your woman to see that you truly are a man of your word and you're a man of integrity. A woman who sees that will fall in line and have a respect level for you because she sees that you mean what you say. All right. So let me know in the comments which one stands out to you. Let me know which mistake you probably have been experiencing in your marriage or in your relationship. And if you have any questions about anything that I said, leave them in the comment section below. I will answer them personally. Okay. And I'm looking forward to being able to help you improve in your marriage. I want to see you win, men, wives. I want to see you win. I want to see us experiencing heaven in our love lives, and we can do it. The Bible says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And I believe the number one reason why marriages are failing is because we lack the knowledge that we need to make it work. All right. So let's put in the work. Let's apply these principles in our marriages and let's see more and more of heaven come into our homes. All right. So I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you push the subscribe button. Don't miss another video as I share more principles and kingdom advice on how to build solid, healthy, fruitful marriages. All right. God bless you. See you soon.